Jealousy and greed. Jealousy and greed. Jealousy and greed are not a good look. Make sure that you have your protections on lock, because some people have a lot of jealousy at this time for what they perceive you to have or for what you do have. The Knave of Swords. Critical thinking is a gift that some people lack. Use yours consistently and regularly. And when you get good ideas, implement them, write them down. If you can't do them right away, if you can't implement good ideas right away, write them down so that you make sure that you follow up on them. Because with this Pluto Aquarius situation, a lot of people are going to be thriving, blooming, blossoming, like living and showing themselves in completely different ways than what they're used to, than what other people are used to seeing them as, than what other people perceive them as. Your ideas are given to you for a reason. Four of Cups. Make sure that you're spending time in gratitude. Make sure that you're making gratitude lists. No matter what your circumstances are, because there is always something to be grateful for, and gratitude can actually change your circumstances and your energy. Literally just saying thank you, saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Two of Cups. I see there's a beautiful relationship energy here with the Two of Cups. Something that is an intellectual match, which is very good. So in that case, for some of you, this is a partnership. In the case of this is confirmation, because with this new transit, this Pluto Aquarius thing that we're about to all live through, some of us about to live through, inshallah. In this current energy that we find ourselves in, there is a lot to embark on, and you're going to see people starting new courses, stepping up to be teachers, taking new classes, getting new certificates. This is a really beautiful time for that, even getting honored for those things. But it's like strike iron strikes iron, sharpening your wit. For some of you, this partnership, this Two of Cups energy, this relationship is those new mentors, new collaborators. But for some of you, your love interest, your partner is also a business partner, an idea partner, a teaching partner, doing courses together, that kind of thing. The Four of Cups again with the Knight of Cups. Okay, so you're supposed to be very, very grateful, because the relationship energy that is around you and that is coming in for you, and I mean this in the most like strong and respectful way, it's a very soft energy. It's an energy that allows the partners involved to be soft, to express a different side of communication, of love, of living. The Knight of Cups is a very emotionally intelligent person, and I love that for you. We have the Four of Cups again. What is this Four of Cups curse, please? The Eight of Swords. The Four of Cups keeps coming up because with the Eight of Swords. Okay, so the Eight of Swords can speak to anxiety, can speak to mental trauma, can speak to depression, insecurity, but it's mostly insecurity, yeah, because this Ace of Swords that's going to be here, it's like you almost doubting your own wit and own ability. Ooh, let me slow down. You can go ahead and hit that follow, subscribe, like button. Show the algorithm a little love, little support. So the Ace of Swords is like your ideas are going to be so big, so out there, so beautiful, that you might even have, regrettably, some imposter syndrome. Equally, my guys want me to start speaking Spanish. Okay, I got to practice my Spanish. But equally, your romance situations are going to be so big and beautiful. Your teachers, your mentors. Okay, that's what it is. For some of you, it's like elevating to like a celebrity status, viral overnight, celebrity situation, celebrity mentor, partnerships, collaborations. And it's almost going to feel like it's too good to be true. But if you let that imposter syndrome, if you let that doubt, that past trauma cloud you, even like for any amount of time, you could jeopardize your partnerships. So do what you have to do to work through that. Let's see, we have the 5 of Swords and the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like after a lot of conflict comes reward. After a lot of doubt comes success. I'm hearing succession. Are some of you about to inherit something in a company? I haven't watched Succession, but I literally am also hearing succession, like, ooh, the next in line to be king. Okay, some of you, this is going to happen in a way that it's going to catch you completely off guard. You're going to be like shocked. I think that's part of what it is too. You're going to be so shocked, but it's almost like, okay, quick Ted Lasso reference. Shout out to Ted Lasso. In the first episode, I think, of the first season in Rebecca Welton's office, here's a free promo for Ted Lasso on Apple TV. There's like Higgins walks into Rebecca's office at AFC Richmond, and she's like, do you want this painting? And he's like, isn't that Hockney? Isn't that like £1 million? And she's like, you're right. You know, you should have said yes. And she's like, take it to the auction heap. Can you imagine? Like, this man almost had £1 million or more, and you know, or artwork that is worth that he could pass on to his family. He could have retired. He could have quit. The show would have never happened. But he was like, seriously? And that doubt wasn't even like, it was just his automatic reaction. It was like, oh, are you really sure you want to do that? If somebody walks up to you, like, and is like, hey, do you want $1 million for no strings attached? Okay, maybe that's a bad example. And you're like, no, that's got to be a trick. Then they're like, okay, and they walk away. For some of you, it might be like this with certain relationships, partnerships, etc. It's not to say 717. It's not to say that you can't get them back if that's your reaction, but watch that ish, because that's not the energy we're trying to carry with us into 2024, babe. We're standing on business, entering our seasons of blessings, and we're not doubting ourselves. Do you know why we're not doubting ourselves? Because we know our worth. Do you know why we remember our worth, our ability, our skills? Because we work on our affirmations. We work on our gratitude. We believe in ourselves. 4 of Wands and 6 of Swords. Yeah, somebody invite me to a Habisha wedding, yo. 4 of Wands, 6 of Swords. So it's like, because you work through that, love and happiness, baby. Wedding bells. Okay, contracts that are like too good to be true, but they are good and they are true. The 4 of Wands is that foundation, is that stability, is that relationship going to the next level of like, okay, we live together, we have a home together, we're getting married, we're having babies. Boom. Oh, we are signing this contract and we want you to be the face on the billboard for this season for this. We want you to take this part in the show. We want you to do. We want you. It's not a mistake. You deserve to be where you are and where you're going. So don't forget it. And I say where you're going because these new opportunities are going to take you places. You're going to be traveling. There are things that you have to leave behind, but it's so worth what you have to leave behind. 2 of Pentacles on the bottom. You're going to have a new balance of, oh my God, and the 7 of Cups and the Ace of Cups. You're going to have a new balance of work, life, family, joy, play. And this new balance is literally your dreams coming true. And your dreams coming true in a way that is, I think, importantly, heart-fulfilling, heart-centered fulfilling, and emotionally fulfilling. It's not just something that, you know, it's not something that's going to drain you. It's something that's going to allow you to overflow your energy into others, to help you be such a beautiful version of yourself that you can help others from a place of overflow. But here's the thing, you do need to leave something behind. Ooh, okay, I think that's it. I think we're going to pull the, yeah, on the bottom of the deck is the Sun. Are you ready? The thing is, like, people want to be in the sun and then get out there and be like, oh, like, it's a little hot, complain about the weather and shit. How you gonna do that? How you gonna do that? How you gonna work so hard for something and then be like, is this really for me? No. Understand that you are about to shine in a way that like you can't even comprehend right now. And that's okay. It's like the energy of like, you know, if Beyonce, looking at herself now, was able to look back and see herself when she was 8 or 14 or 7, you know, she might have had an idea that like, yeah, I'm going far, I'm gonna be a superstar. But like there's a difference between feeling it and doing something and reaching something and just envisioning it. And for a lot of us, this collective, this time, the vision is coming to fruition. The vision is coming to fruition. So like, wear your sunscreen. That is just to say like, not wear your sunscreen, but like understand that, okay, where was I just seeing talk about this? It was something like a show like about royalty or a movie. Oof. Y'all, I just watched Killers of the Flower Moon finally, and it fooched me up. Like, am I even ready to talk about it? Like, on every level. Like, it was a movie that needed to be made, a story that needed to be told, really important. But it just fooched me up. And I feel like, yeah. But by virtue of just existing and having wealth and having money and having stature and having, you know, rights to the land, like a lot of Osage people, like people were like hunting them, like looking at them to marry them, to be with them, to like to take their life, to take their land. And I'm saying this with, you know, sincerity and a bit of severity, is that sometimes when you are born with something beautiful, something inside you, or something that is also reflected materially, you are going to have people who, you know, you don't even know, and for no other reason than just jealousy, envy, greed, who are going to want to take it from you by any means necessary. And I'm not saying that to be funny or flippant. I'm saying that because that's what's happening right now. That's what's happening right now in Palestine. I saw a video today of, I smile during very different things. It's not funny at all. I saw a video today of IOF soldiers in dinosaur suits who were loading up bombs. Oh, it's making me want to throw up. To send to children in Gaza and families in Gaza who are on day 107 of this genocide, like dressed up like a dinosaur, like it's a joke, like it's nothing. I also saw Columbia University yesterday. Soldiers returned from the IOF to a New York campus and gassed students who were at a protest. So my point is that like when you are in this position and status where people look up to you, and some people are just not well, like everything, but like you are gonna have people who like just think you don't deserve it. And I think the really important lesson is like, first of all, like number one, like what happens like to the sun and like a bunch of parasites. Like you put a worm that has its place and does so well in a garden, like into the sun, it's gonna fry up and shrivel up and be nothing, be a little tiny black line. You're gonna step over it, you're not even gonna know it existed. There's certain people who have parasitic energy who, when you are elevated to this position, they're not even going to make it. They're going to shrivel up, and that's fine. You don't have to worry about them. Speaking of shrivel up, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. But I think the big thing, too, is that a lot's going to be exposed. Like, look what just happened with this COVID exposure. Like, oof. Also, like, wear a mask. But the COVID exposure in terms of the fact that, like, okay, like the US made this infection in a lab. Like it's not a conspiracy theory, like it's just the facts. Just the facts, you know what I mean? All facts, no printer. So like when you are in this position, things are going to be revealed to you that at another time in your life would have broken your heart. But just remember, like, people are doing just like what they're capable of doing, what they're supposed to do. You can't take it all personally. But also, don't joke about your protections. Like, I'm actually a mother. But like before I was a mother, I was like mother, and I would worry about people. And even now, like I see people just doing things, like it worries me. Like, I'm not gonna get into all that, but like, do be intentional about your safety, physical, spiritual, emotional, financial, right? That's it. Don't be paranoid, don't be what, but be intentionally protective of your things at this time, because that is what it is called for. Okay, so with Aradia, the deck of Aradia, we're pulling a couple oracle cards. Why wouldn't we? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't we? We are. We have ecstasy. So for a lot of you, this is like connected to like, this is so joyful. I'm on my like giggly, blushy, honeydew cheeks. Like for a lot of you, this is the energy of obviously your romantic connections. But for all of us on a little bit of a pulled back scale, this is just the energy of being in fulfillment, being in alignment with divine purpose, finding such natural pleasure in existing that you're able to move into basically like states of ecstasy. Like, this is gonna seem funny to some of y'all, but this is true. I was on Twitter earlier and I seen a, what does he call it? I call it yo. Like, I seen a rat like dancing, and it was like, you know, the rat bathes in the rain, and like that's it. It was just jumping. It was in Spanish, the first tweet, and someone retweeted it and they were like, it just wants to feel the rain on its skin. I feel like it's also important to be in those energies even when you can, because I feel like if you remind yourself that being alive is a miracle, that's a really good start. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. Express yourself. Okay, we also have the hedge next. So this is really lovely. This is about being outdoors. This is about the hedge. This is about those protective plants. Oh, I can't talk all of a sudden. You see that? You're not gonna tongue tie me. I spit on the eye. I trample the eye. You see how that works? I'm Greek, so I could spit 3 times. What am I talking about? The hedge. The hedge is very much about protection. So for some of y'all, what I'm seeing is very simple that people don't know. For some of you in new like business office spaces and beautiful things, you're gonna want to just get some like ivy, some vine plants, some snake plants, some like beautiful plants. And people just gonna walk in and be like, oh, that's such a nice plant. What is it? Can I touch it? Yes, bish. Like, that's my protection. Bada boom, bada bing. For some of y'all working with protective plants in different ways, think of like the thorns of like a rose. Like, working with those protective elements is going to be really helpful for you. And also can be like a little sign, right? Sometimes our plants are our first line of defense because they're like our little pets in a way in our family and stuff. So like you can have a beautiful like ivy plant and somebody comes to your house and a week later that plant dies. Like, that person could have just had bad energy, not even intentionally, and that plant could have absorbed it for you. Again, not be defensive, but have things that are on defense for you. Be protective of your space, your energy, your children, your bank accounts, your financial, I want to say your formula. Some of y'all got a secret sauce, a secret formula. Be protective of your formulas, because that is what's called for. What else about the hedge? It's interesting because I don't pull this card so much, but shout out to this girl. I did like the first reading that I did for somebody with this deck. This came out in reference to her romantic partnership. And one of the things about that situation was that, like, not telling too many people all the details of your relationship is a simple form of protection. So I think for some of you, that can be like not posting your your business deals. That's what the message is. Keep your good news to yourself until it's done, and done, because that is what it's called for. Anything else, hedgy hedge? Yeah, some of you are working specifically like botanical gardens, greenhouses, something with horticulture, landscaping is going to be very relevant and important to you. Working with certain trees, that's very important and beautiful. I mean, y'all, can you tag me in your wedding pictures? Do you want me to officiate the ceremony for you? Like, for some of you, like, you're taking vows, you're renewing vows. Look at this. It's such a beautiful hand fasting energy. There we go. And, you know, it's something that is so deserved. These commitments, these connections are going to take you to a whole different level. They're going to be so fulfilling in just every single way. And so, like, you know, mashallah, like, God bless it. God bless you. Like, you know, felicidades. Like, this is amazing. For some of you, again, these vows are more contractual than romantic, but there's just so much beautiful romance energy. I'm also feeling like, you know, January 25th is the full moon, which is the end of this week, end of next week. And I think that's a Leo full moon, if I'm not mistaken. And for a lot of you, that full moon is going to show you some very pivotal things in your life and be an important time change. Yes, night woman, high priestess energy, conjurer, magician, spellcaster, brujeria, and so on and so forth. Obey. You know what I mean? So for some of you, working with the energy of this full moon is going to be particularly potent, and I would particularly recommend it. Oh, can't fight the moonlight. Leanne Rhymes. Okay. Can't fight the moonlight. Okay. Whoa, big message coming through. Let me slow down. Let me slow down. Yeah, some of you are doing things with music. Some of you are doing things in definitely entertainment industry. Media industry is big here. Some of you singers. But for some of you, it's also going to be people that are coming forward in your life that literally can't fight the moonlight. It's like they have emotional energy and connections where for some of you, you're going to have people like professing love to you, professing feelings for you, and for some of you, okay, for some of you, there's going to be multiple like things or people, and it's not even like people that you necessarily need to remotely entertain. It's just like, again, exposure. That keeps coming up. People coming forward about just different things. And for some of you, in some of these situations, it is going to bring clarity. For some of you, it's going to bring closure. For some, it might bring confusion. But, you know, if you do have something to say, it's good to get it off your chest. But yeah, can't fight the moonlight was coming up strong there. Let's see, I pulled 3 more cards. Obviously, you can tell I wasn't looking. The first one is fecundity. Okay, so some of you, this has to do with pregnancy, finding out about pregnancy, secret pregnancy, people wanting to have babies with you, people wanting to just plant something with you, build something with you. This is a fertile time for that. Also, for some of you, if you're not trying to have children, it's a very important time to be careful. This is the gospel, and this was upside down. I feel like for some of you is some people that are really speaking against you, and especially against your unions and your partnerships. This may come as a shock to you. For some of you, not so much, because I also see sisterhood. So unfortunately, I do think for some of you, there are people who are jealous or may even be, yeah, and ritual. And look behind ritual. Are you ready for this? Curses and games. Oh, and La Luna. Okay, and blood. Escape. Oh my God. Okay. Told you it was a big message coming through. So for some of you, because of, like I said, like we discussed earlier, jealousy, material success, whatever, people are literally working against you. And for some of you, you knew that. That's fine. Just keep your protections up. But oh, look at my voice shaking. That's very sad. But for some of it, it is people literally sending you curses. And for some people, like, who are not like practitioners, that's just them talking that ish behind your back and literally cursing your name. But unfortunately, my friend, that is a curse. Get a cleansing, do a cleansing, get a cleansing, do a cleansing, get a cleansing, do a cleansing, uncrossing work, set it down. Maybe you want to hex them back. Let me not start a witch war, but that's cute. Keep it cute. Set your protections up. Return to sender. Call your power back. For some of you, you're going to be feeling very liberated because you're breaking free from these things and you're going to be getting back a lot of energy and strength. Games. I feel like for some of these people, there's very weird, like cat and mouse. Like some people like are playing in your face. Some people, they're literally doing nasty things behind your back, talking about your back and smiling in your face. Now, there's a reason that people talk behind your back and not to your face, because they're scared of you. But you need to have discernment at this time. You need to have discernment at this time. And if you feel like that energy coming off of somebody, you need to trust your intuition. Literally don't play around with your health and safety at this time. Even if it seems weird, even if you don't know or have that confirmation, if you feel like you need to cut somebody off, cut them off. If you feel like they're whatever. Take a little break. Put them on pause. Because you don't need that energy just slowing you down from these good things that are here for you. It's like, I'll give you a simple explanation. It's like you ordered like the most beautiful, important thing like online that you waited for forever. It's beautiful, important because it helps you and your family. What is something that you need to order that? You order 5 gallons of alkaline water. You've been waiting for it for a month, and you drinking this alkaline water is gonna set you on a path of health, wealth, success, beauty, joy, and removing obstacles from your life because you just needed to drink alkaline water and you're gonna be healthy. This delivery is at your door. You see the truck pulling up, and your friend who's sitting with you in the room waiting at the window keeps blocking you from leaving. They're not going to put their arms out and block the door. They're going to say, oh, wait, come here, come look at this video. Oh, wait, I got a story to tell. Oh, wait. And you're like, no, I just need to go and get the door. Energetically speaking, if you have an energy like that, we're like, oh, I just want to do this thing. And people seem to keep just distracting you, even if it seems good-natured. No, I just want to talk to you about my thing last week. Don't entertain that bullshit, and let this be the message for you. When that energy comes up, be strong, walk away. You don't even have to be aggressive. You don't have to even, you just know in your heart you need to go do what you need to do. Receive your packages, boo. Drink your water. Take those blessings and don't let these people stop you. And for some of you, that's going to be sad, but, you know, grief is a part of the process of living. That's it. That's okay. La Luna. I'm telling you, this week is going to be a big week. For some of us, it's not even personal. I mean, for all of us, it's going to be a little bit personal. But I see a lot of that happening on the level of the macro, the large scale, the political, because that's what I see. But for some of us, it's going to be very obvious too with this moon. But also understand too that like you have power with the full moon. So pay attention on that day to the themes that come up for you, to the energy that's around you, to, you know, maybe you liked tap dance when you were 5. You always wanted to tap dance. Now you're all grown up. You haven't thought about tap dance in 20 years, and a Dick Van Dyke commercial comes on. A tap preview comes on, whatever, and you're just like, oh wow, I really love tap. Like that might reset you on a path where you go out and you study tap for 5 years and do tap dance and live your happily ever after. Like, don't ignore the signs, especially on this day of the full moon and leading up to it. Blood. Unfortunately for some of you, some people are really sending you bad energies. But for some of you also, this is family. It's family who's cursing you, playing games, and playing in your face. And I am sorry to say that for some of you who menstruate, you could be getting your moon around this full moon, and it could be particularly purging, cleansing, detoxifying, powerful. You know, when you are on your moon, it's a very important ritual and cycle. And I always find that writing during that time or taking notes is especially powerful because that's a natural process of growth, cleansing. Like each cycle is like a new cycle you've completed in your life. So even though it might be every little 28 days, like that's no joke. Honor the blood. Be intentional about the blood. We have escape. For some of you, this situation is calling for literally an escape hatch, an escape plan. Leaving something that, you know, happens in a way that was not, like, you might have to leave a situation abruptly. And again, this can be on the macro, but you might have to leave a situation abruptly to ensure your safety. Oof, for some people, this can be connected to like even like fire or house fire. I'm hearing particularly up to this new moon, be careful with fire. I do feel like there's going to be something about a house fire. And I want to say something about Ruth. Okay, so we have, just continuing, the masculine, taboo, and secrecy. So it's interesting because I do feel like a lot of the, you know, sort of spiteful energy that could be directed towards you is connected to some kind of energy of not only how you put yourself out into the world, the action that you take, how you stand, but also your relationships, your partners. And this can be for anyone, gender non-specific, but I feel like, yeah, I mean, people are just weird, you know? There's something about your contract or relationship that could be taboo. So remember I said, you know, entertainment industry, business, blah, blah, blah. For some of you, maybe the person that you're with, something about the person that you're with or you're about to be with, something about there's a taboo aspect here. And again, secrecy is encouraged, not out of like a space of shame, but out of a space of like, you don't announce your thing until it's done. Why I'm so like, ugh. What I was gonna say was like, a lot of people in a lot of different cultures specifically, like if they're pregnant, they don't announce their pregnancy until like at least 6 months, until they're at least 6 months pregnant, because of the eye, the mati, because of that negative energy. And I feel like, yeah, I don't know who among us is having a baby, but like I'm telling you, there is this energy of secrecy for some reason. Then we have the shadow and peacemaking. Okay, so for some of you, this can be maybe connected to a person that you have or having or had children with or had a pregnancy with. For some of you, this person's shadow could have caught you by surprise, but also I feel like you've had to work through your shadow through limiting beliefs, through things like shame and guilt, and maybe the person that you were with or the person that you choose to be with. But I feel like you're coming to peace with that. For some of you, there's a peacemaking with a person, or a peacemaking with the people who were sending you this negative energy, or a peacemaking with an old partner. And I'm not getting reconciliation, but I'm getting peacemaking just when you put down the swords in that show of friendship. It's that like, you know, it's literally almost like, I want to say two things. I want to say like safety in numbers. Like, I'm not trying to be alarmist, but like, you know, people say like during war, like the enemy of my enemy is my friend and things like that. I feel like, and some people say like the enemy, you know, I feel like for some of you, the peacemaking is just because it doesn't make sense anymore to hold this battle. But for some people, this peacemaking is because there's just been healing that's taken place by integrating the shadow. And I think that's beautiful. Yeah, curses again on the bottom. Yeah. And then when I split the deck, reconciliation and the feminine and night women. Some of you, the people who have been working against you there, who are going to be coming forward to confess, and they're going to be all sad and torn up about it. The gospel and the unknown. And they might not even know why they're doing it or whatever, but it's just time to move on from certain things. And I feel like that energy that has not been successful, there's going to be a reason. There's going to be a reason for people coming forward. Ooh. Lord, have mercy. Water under the bridge. That song by Adele just came up. It's like, if you're going to let me down gently, easy. Don't pretend that you don't want me. I want you, like water under the bridge. I don't know the words right now. I'm sorry. Shout out to Adele, but yeah, that's if you're gonna water under the bridge. Let me down gently. Heartache and loss, awareness. Interesting. And the shadow again. And then material and spiritual prosperity, and then destiny. So it feels like, let me do these one at a time, my friends. I feel like for some of you, there could have been a lot of loss in partnerships and relationships on every level. We don't have to get into, take that as it resonates, you know, if that's for you, but on every level there has been loss, and that has been a very bitter and very potent medicine and lesson for you. It is such that it has brought you into a different way of awareness, of understanding, of communication, of being in your magic, of being able to, you know, be the alchemist, of being able to, you know, because you have seen such loss, you know, you can take, you know, things that other people would scoff at, and you can find ways to be grateful for them. You can make you know, magic out of a, you know, paper towel and a piece of plastic. Like you can just say thank you and change your own energy. Like there's new ways of, you know, being in relation to others because of these loss, because of the things that your shadow has taught you, and because you have done the work, my friends, which is not an easy work, dealing from heartbreak and betrayal and loss. This is again that, laughing at the confirmation, that material and spiritual prosperity. You win, babe. And destiny. I'm going to read those two to you. Oh, and behind that is hope. All right, let me slow it down here. Destiny and material and spiritual prosperity. This deck, by the way, actually, I think all the decks I used today are linked in the description down there, because why wouldn't they be? No, because they're really beautiful decks, and in case, you know, you wanted to get them for yourself. Okay. The number 6 physical card represents a peaceful, tranquil time when problems seem to actually disappear. A sudden bonus, pay raise, or even a promotion could be in the offering. It could be expected or arrive out of the blue. This card may also signify a group that has worked and strived towards the success of a common goal. A time of prosperity, balance, and harmony in your physical and spiritual existence is showing you that the practice of giving and receiving will bring you true riches. Look into your life and see where you can spread spiritual and physical wealth. Is there a person or a favorite charity that would welcome an act of kindness right now? Practice generosity, gratitude, and compassion so that you continue to prosper in all areas of your life. Yeah, babe. Do it. destiny. Good luck and fortune are now in your favor. A cycle of change, success, and growth is imminent. Life ebbs and flows in its natural journey, and the destiny card signifies that good karma has come full circle. Lady Luck is pointing directly at you. What you sowed, you're about to reap. Open up your heart and accept and receive what you have earned. Opportunities, whether expected or unexpected, are knocking at your door. This is a time to allow your problems to be replaced by solutions. Believe in destiny as you learn to let go of old issues. You're being given the chance to understand the lessons and gain wisdom from the past, enabling you to move steadily forward in a positive direction. Holding on to a strong belief that you deserve to be happy and prosperous and have abundance in all areas of your life is the key. This confident mindset will show you that the impossible can indeed become the possible. With this card, take advantage of all opportunities. Act now, take responsibility for your actions, and enjoy the fact that destiny is presently in your favor. Don't always rely on luck. However, for the wheel, most definitely will turn again. And hope. This hope for some of you is literally a child. And I'm saying that because it's literally, when I saw it, it made me think about like in Avatar: The Last Airbender, when they're in the Earth Kingdom, they travel with the family and they name the baby Hope, and everybody has hope again after they face that giant sea monster. Meet up with the Kyoshi warriors again, or at least Suki. Hope. This is a card that focuses on the qualities of hope, faith, healing, aspirations, success, and finally enlightenment. When this card appears, know that a special wish you've made may be fulfilled in time. The Hope card will help show you that the impossible can indeed become the possible. That's a theme. The force that works through your soul, determining what's possible, and the difference between success over failure, and above all, who we are, is the power of your belief. This card serves as a reminder to use your natural ability of intuition, the language of the soul, as you reach for your goals and desires. The future can be yours when you have hope and trust in everything that you do. Soon others will be attracted and drawn to your inner light. Learn to share your experiences and lessons, for those around you will also realize that by having faith and pushing forward where one may have felt no hope at all is the key to success. Above all, maintaining a positive attitude starting right now, this very minute, will allow your soul to soar. You'll discover an opportunity to shine as you reach for the stars. Before I started reading, I did see the next 3 cards. So I did just want to say, like, because some of you don't feel that way right now. For some of you, we have suffering in silence. But look at that's 9. That suffering in silence is about to stop. So when the cards say focus very much right now on the hope, the positivity, you do that. Mind over matter. Seriously. It's not to say foolishness, spiritual, bypassing. I'm literally hearing debridement. It's literally something about burns. Y'all, please be careful right now. It's literally something about burns. Like, yeah, suffering in silence. Or some of you could have had somebody who got lost in that way. And then prosperity begins. You're literally there. Please do not give up. We have moving on. Okay, it's a common theme. If you're stuck on the negativities or whatever, it's not gonna just work the way you want it to. And then we have power and fulfillment of wishes, right? Power and fulfillment of wishes. So the thing about it is, what you need to remember when you're looking back is Sankofa. First of all, look back at it. No, I'm just like, look back only to take the lessons forward to the next generation even. Look back so that, you know, when your 9-year-old says, can I go on Omegle to make a YouTube video? You see, like, I don't know, maybe that's not the best place for a 9-year-old to hang out. Not to say, like, when I was young. Like, no. Look back to take your wisdom and bring it to the future. Look back to take your lessons and bring them to the future. Because when you can do that, actually, you can see your power, you can see your strength, you can see like, whoa, look at all the things that I came up through. Look at all the things I survived. Like, to the point where if you're like, like what, think about like, when you first fell and scraped your knee, you were probably like 3 years old, 2 years old. You probably don't remember that exact moment. But when that happened, when you felt that pain, you were like, oh my God, I'll never be healed. Nothing will ever be good again. And, you were okay. From that up until now, like things build up, we accumulate, we accumulate our injuries, our pain, our suffering. And sometimes we can get lost in that if we're not careful. And especially like when times are hard or when things feel low, right? But this is like really like your power is undeniable, babe. You are so strong. And the more that you can tap into that infinite nature of your soul and your spirit, the more that you can really just be rained down on your blessings. Like that, like in a way that like they're gonna help you and you're gonna help others. And then finally, little fairy dust, little pixie magic, fulfillment of wishes. Do you understand what this means? It's literally impossible things that are about to come into your life that are not impossible, but they seemed impossible, and you helped them come here. Okay, a couple little, let me not signify them that way. A couple more community notes. When I said that thing about Omegle, one of the things that's going to be changing a lot this transit this year, this time, is with our technology, with the use of AI, with the use of how the internet works and everything. And I don't want to raise the alarm, but be careful of how your children interact online at this time. And just okay, just the mom and me, just think twice. Like, do you need to post that shirtless picture of your kid? Like, oh, but they're just swimming, it's a family picture. Like, okay, but does that need to be on the internet? Do you need to post like your children so much? Like, be intentional, because that is what it's called for. Not to be in fear, not to cut your kids off from the internet, not to tell them they can't play games or post, but to say like, teach your kids also about grooming, about internet safety and etiquette, right? About not meeting up with strangers online. Because I feel like there's also going to be a lot more like catfishing, and not even for children, but like a little bit, but for like, there's a wave of IOF soldiers that are just coming back to the US who were just in Gaza, like bombing babies and shit. And like, I want people to take that very seriously. Like, if you're like live streaming or Snapchatting your location all over town and just wearing your keffiyeh, and okay, I guess I have to talk about this a little bit, because again, it's not to be fear driven, but like, you're just like, oh yes, free Palestine. Okay, well, it's the right thing to do. It's ethical. There's 10,000 of us who march. Okay, but if you're alone at a coffee shop, do you need to be Snapchatting yourself wearing a keffiyeh? No, you do not, my friend. No, you do not, because like, it's the time to take the internet safety and the safety of integrating our physical lives and our internet life. Like, it's time to take it seriously. It's been time, but at this time now, again, it's time to take it seriously. Not in a way that you should be scared, but in a way that you should be wise. There's a difference, and it's important to note that. And it's okay if you are scared. There's some scary things happening, but you're being encouraged to be more hopeful than scared, because again, the impossible is becoming possible. Dreams are coming true. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. What I can say about supporting people in Palestine, the only thing I would really recommend people donate to, I'm gonna be real with y'all, like, it's a genocide going on. So everybody's fundraising this, fundraising that. I mean, no. I would really say the only thing, my perspective, that you should donate money to is the Esims. Esims are connecting Gaza and connecting people, and Isn't Real keeps doing everything that they can to block out communications. But every time that the Esims come through, it helps people stay online and tell their stories, and it helps us here everywhere that's not Gaza to be able to Share those stories. It's why Motaz was just given Communicator Award of the Year, which is weird because it's painful, I'm sure, and unspeakably brutal. The reasons why he has the award, the things that he has taken videos and photos of. Bisan able to post and go on TikTok live and do this thing. Like, those Esims are connecting Gazans with the world, Palestinians with the world, and saving lives. So get some Esims if you can. Also the Herbawi kafiyas, like buy from local Palestinians, support your Palestinian neighborhood, restaurant, shop, whatever, business owner. But I'm just saying that because look, people are talking about like, oh, donate to the Red Cross, donate to the this, like, babes, like, we're so far past that. So that's literally my opinion. You don't have to take that. You can take that however you want it. I will also say there's an issue with water where, like, a lot of natives and a lot of Black people, suspiciously, and immigrants in America, like, don't have access to clean water right now. And that's something that you might want to think about and research. And just like a final little note that might be pushing my luck. And if you're still here, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. The reason that the genocide in the Democratic Republic of the Congo is happening is mostly for cobalt, which is found in things like Teslas and vapes. So the thing about like a boycott or a change or whatever is not to like throw away all the SHIT that you have now. That doesn't make sense. That leads to more fast consumerism. The point is to like slowly methodologically, that word is my Achilles heel today, apparently, my kryptonite. Methodically and methodologically, okay, just methodically, I'll leave it there. Start to actually look at your life and your lifestyle, right? And how you can change the things that you can do in a way that's sustainable. I think that's important. We're gonna preach for a minute. It's like with diet culture, right? Diet culture is so crazy and restrictive in this country and dangerous and toxic in a lot of ways. People want to lose weight and be healthy, but people go into these cycles, right? Okay, it's New Year's. I'm going to start a New Year's resolution. I'm going to go on this program. I'm going to lose all the weight in 2 days. And people crash. People like, I'm going to cut out all this. And they just try to like starve themselves. It turns into like unhealthiness. And then they crash, and then people, end up gaining back more weight or being depressed or being whatever, and even turning to different substances or whatever. The thing about it is, if you want to lose weight, if you want to change the culture, you're not going to change yourself overnight. If you do, you're going to hurt yourself because the rubber band effect, when you crash, when you come back, it's going to make you, it's going to be harder on yourself. You're going to say, like, you're going to believe that you can't do something that you very much can do, right? Start small. For example, right? Yes, like, this is so controversial. I don't want to say it. Like, going around, like, carrying a Starbucks mug, like, that is, like, a terrible symbol right now because there's a boycott. But, like, if you have a thermos that is from Starbucks, don't throw away your thermos so that you have to go buy a new thermos. Put a freaking sticker over the Starbucks logo. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? This tendency to love instant gratification is very popular in Western culture and in the 21st century. But in American culture, there's this energy that, instant gratification, instant pain relief, instant success, like that things have to be immediate to be worthwhile. When the reality of nature, of our human cycles, of our bodies, of our existence does not work in that way. So if you really want to help Palestine, help the Democratic Republic of the Congo, you can look at 250 companies that you can boycott. But instead of getting overwhelmed, maybe you want to just like print that list so you can see it and start one by one. Maybe you want to start, watching little documentaries and reading articles about the U.S. history of imperialism. Maybe you want to look at your own family lineage and understand how you came to be right here at this place right now. Maybe you want to understand a little bit more about the land that you're on. But if you try to do it all at once with all love, there's a very high percentage that you will fail. And if you fail, sometimes in this kind of thing, it can be a little bit demoralizing to get back up, because you can feel like, especially when it's just something like this, when everybody's like trying to do this thing, if you do fail, it can feel like, oh, like it can feel like a personal and a moral failing, and like you're not doing the right thing or you're not doing enough. That's not the case. This is very much true also of the things in your life that you're calling in, your relationships or whatever. When you make small mistakes or when you slip up or when you do fail, that's beautiful. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. But if you're having like a lot of big failings at once, it can be more destabilizing and demoralizing than helpful. So just keep that in mind, because like the people who want to be healthy, they start by like just like, small changes in their diet. Drink a little more healthy water, eat a little more healthy food, walk a little bit, do yoga a little bit, do some deep breathing, do some meditation, focus on just like a little bit of trauma healing, whatever. When you try to run into everything at once, you die quick. So as my grandma would say, not my grandma, not my unchi, not my yai, not my abuela, as my granny would say, and my dad tells me all the time, when your hand is in the lion's mouth or your hand is in the dog's mouth, you have to ease it out. You can't check it out, because you're going to lose something. Yeah, suffering and silence. And look, patience. Love begins. Throat chakra. Okay? Universe. The thing is, you're going to plant an apple tree in your backyard because you love apples. Okay, but my friends, if you live in New England, it's going to take damn near 7 to 10 years to start bearing fruit. You can't be planting that tree and talking about, I'm going to have apple pie in the spring. You're going to be disappointed as hell. You have to say like, okay, I'm going to plant the tree, plant the seeds. I'm going to hang out there. I'm going to read by the seeds. But I'm also going to buy my apples from a local store or a farmer's market or a local farm for the next 7 years. Do you understand? And I say that to say, even if in the blink of this moment, this is too much for some people, I'm sorry. But so tune out if it's triggering or something. Accelerated motion. Firm foundation. Fulfillment of wishes. Even if today isn't real, did the ceasefire, backed out, left, look at how much rebuilding has to happen in Gaza. Look at how much needs to happen that you need to not run away from. You have to learn to build up endurance. If you want to be a sprinter, be a sprinter. But if you're trying to run the marathon with the rest of us, you got to train for that. You understand? Your whole lifestyle has to become about that. So if you're trying to help change the planet and the world for the better, you got to start with the small changes of your everyday life. Oh, but how can I support the Congo? It's okay, but how many vapes do you buy a week? The genocide doesn't affect me, my friend. Your habits, most of which are not your fault, because capitalism is cannibalistic and was designed for us all to harm each other and extract and exploit from the earth. And, for instance, every time you use the toilet, that's 3 gallons of potable drinking water. That's why they say there are no purchases, there are no ethical purchases under late stage capitalism. Like, you can't, like, you know what I mean? You can't stop doing everything that you do. Don't try it, please. But slowly plant the seeds, work with other people. And that's not to temper any revolution. That's not to say slow down with your actions or your movements or your plans. That's for the people who are just starting, okay? Let me just say that. If you're just coming into your consciousness and you're, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Start small. Build up. And I'll say that with this. Bless you, Josh. I hope I can use your name as an example. I'm going to put your name down here. If I can find your Cash App, GoFundMe, anything, support Josh. If not, then I'm sorry. And be it on my name. Let me give you an example, okay? Ooh, pull up a chair on TV. Lord have mercy. Ferguson, Missouri. 2014. Mike Brown is slaughtered. May he rest in peace and power. The beautiful and powerful youth of Ferguson stand up. The world stands up with them. Some of the world has very bad reactions. And in a moral and glorious attempt to call for justice for Mike Brown and indictment of Darren Wilson, there was some property damage. A Quick Trip gas station was burned down, and a cop car was like flipped over and lit on fire or something. There's a picture of the cop car with the black youth standing on top of it with maybe a keffiyeh on or a mask on, standing strong. The black youth, you know, the police are like, who did this to the cop car? The parents of this young man are like, oh, just do the right thing. Turn yourself in. Josh, our little brother Josh, our cousin, our little relative, was just in prison for like years and years and years and years. Water protectors, a standing rock. Okay, like we're all out here in the cold, doing the thing, you know, trying to stop these pipelines, trying to save the earth, save our ancestral land, support ourselves, you know. Red Fawn goes to jail for years and years and years and years. Like, my point is not to temper any movement, but to say, like, is it good for you and for the good of all for you to be in prison for 5 years? Or is there another way? Like, and that's not to say no actions. Hell no. Look at what's happening. I seen in, I think it was Australia, in Melbourne. I think one of the big factories that was connected to war manufacturing, people went and spray painted it and broke the windows. That was an impressive display of community art. That was some cool ass activism. People also in Australia and people in Yemen, like taking these little boats and blocking the shipping routes. That happened also in the Bay Area. Talking about the Bay. Follow JerseyNoah, support JerseyNoah, support all the people who were on that bridge doing a shutdown. Like in New York today, yesterday, like people were just arrested. I think one of them is a presidential hopeful candidate for being pro-Palestine protesters. Like, yes. But also, like, as somebody that's been in jail for this kind of thing before, like, if 60,000 of y'all are gonna get arrested at the same time, that's dope. But if it ends up being 2 or 3 people arrested, or 1 person arrested, anyway, I've talked about this for way too long. So, what I gotta put in the notes now: links to Josh, links to these decks, links to Red Fawn, bail support for the people who were arrested in New York yesterday, and JerseyNoah and the Bay Area people's contacts and places to donate and ting. Yeah. Accelerated motion, firm foundation, fulfillment of wishes, okay? Things coming in fast. Be ready for them. Much love and appreciation. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my storytelling. Welcome to my readings. Thank you so much. Speaking of, if you did like this reading, this message, if you want to send tips or donations my way, I am always accepting them. I'll put my links in there for you to send a donation if you like to. Thank you so much. And remember to like, subscribe, share, turn notifications on so that this message can, you know, reach other people that may need to hear it, you know, and that it may help, and then you can remember it and come back in 6 months and say, oh, that was right. Oh, that part makes sense now. Okay. Parting is such sweet sorrow, and yet, adieu.